In this video, I'm going to take you through the process of visualization, and I've broken it down into 3 different steps. Make sure you stay until the very end of the video because the third step is the most potent, the most powerful. It's very much necessary for you to understand it and apply it. So, a background, a quick introduction. What is visualization? Visualization is the process in which we deliberately picture, imagine things to be a certain way that we desire, particular outcomes, situations, state of being, certain things that we want to become, certain habits that we want to change. So a quick example of that is, let's say you are struggling with a food addiction. Let's say there's a particular food, let's just say chocolate, and you're addicted to chocolate, and it seems like you're possessed by some entity, which actually may very well be the case. Some kind of a chocolate entity that wants you to keep eating the chocolate. And it just seems like no matter how much you try to quit, no matter what you do, it's not working. It's not working. You know why it's not working? Because you only at a conscious level are making the change. You're consciously saying, I want to quit chocolate. Every time I eat chocolate, I have heart palpitations. It's not good for me. But your subconscious every day, it's in the habit of eating chocolate, so it sends you images and feelings. It makes you feel like, whoa, yummy. How about that chocolate, huh? How about that chocolate right now? Make you feel good. Give you a little lift me up, right? So, what we want to do is we want to change those patterns in the subconscious so that we're no longer getting those images and feelings of how good it would be to eat chocolate. So what you do in this case is you could take it into the visualization, go into a visualization session. I call it the lab. For me, it's the lab. It's where I work with my mind and the images there. And you could imagine a particular case scenario where you have total power over the chocolate. You have just total control, total power. You don't feel helpless towards it. So that's one particular example. You can use visualization to accomplish pretty much anything you want, really. You can actually walk on water if you have a really strong mind that's able to focus. And that's how Jesus did it, by the way. So, all right. That's a quick introduction for you. So, let's get into it. Step number 1 in the visualization process. And this works for all, for beginners. It works for anybody. Okay? Step number 1 in the process is you set the goal. What is the objective here? Let's say you're like, okay, let's use an example here. The objective here is to work out. Okay, there we go, workout. Let's say you decide, I want to go to the gym. I want to build a particular body that looks a particular way, and I'm able to lift a certain amount of weight. Important, this is so important, guys. You want to be completely set down to the T. What is the exact objective? I used to be, back in my days, a gym bro, like one of those buff people, right? Just working out a lot, and I used visualization, and I've accomplished a ton. And I'm gonna tell you how I would set my objectives. I would write down on paper the exact weight that I wanted to lift. So I'm gonna use the bench press here as an example, right? I wanted to lift 225 pounds, which is about 2 plates. In the standard American gyms, American and Canadian gyms, 2 plates, we use pounds, 45 pounds. I wanted to do 225 pounds. I wanted to do it once, 1 rep max. So at the time, I had just started benching again. It's been such a long time. I wasn't lifting I was lifting a particular weight, and that was like a far weight for me to do. I wrote it down, 225 pounds. I knew exactly how much weight I wanted to lift. And I had a particular image of how I wanted my chest to look like. That's step number 1. You want to be very clear. Very clear. The clearer you are on the objective, the clearer you are on what the goal it is. We're gonna use this example throughout the process, okay? The gym, lifting 225 pounds on the bench press, etc. I've used this for everything. I use this to do handstands, do everything, okay? I'm like, I want to do handstands for 10 seconds. You really want to be precise. So here's our goal here for this particular example. We want to do 225 pounds on the bench press, one time, 1 rep max. And we want to have a buff chest. Okay, so you can use that to picture exactly how you want that to look like. So step number 1, there you go. To recap quickly, set the clear, precise objectives. All right. Step number 2 in this process is change your brainwave. And how are we going to do that? We're going to do that through meditation. So usually when we're in the world, we're operating in a beta brainwave. Beta brainwave is very here. It's in this world. Yeah. It's very logical. It's chaotic. It has a hard time getting out of its comfort zone and out of its shell. So if you try to visualize from a beta state, you're gonna be like, this is impossible. I'll never do 225 pounds. Because it's very logical and it's chaotic. It's a state of anxiety actually. Most of us are living on a day-to-day basis with a state of anxiety. Okay? So we want to go to alpha and theta. Theta is the manifestation visualization state. So what we're gonna do is we're going to meditate. Meditation will calm down your mind, and as it gets calmer, it sort of downgrades, but downgrades, don't think of it as a bad thing. It simply just calms down, so it goes into a different frequency, and that frequency is more conducive for relaxation. So alpha is a relaxed state, and then you go into theta, that's the dream state. Whenever you're dreaming, you're in the theta state. The reason why children are so imaginative and they learn so quickly, because from age 2 to 6, children are operating mostly in the theta state. So we meditate. That's step number 2. We're going to meditate. So I would recommend to you, because in the modern world, it's for most of us humans in the modern world, unless we have extensive experience with meditation, it's a little bit difficult for us to get into theta state. We can, unless again you're a really experienced meditator, like just through sitting in silence and meditating and doing breath work, you can go to alpha and you can go to theta as well. But if you want a really quick way, like a really quick way to bypass this, because you could do this even if you have no experience with it, it's just gonna take you longer. Use binaural beats. Okay, use binaural beats. I'm gonna make a video separately for it, like exactly go deep into it. But in a nutshell, it calms down your brain pretty quickly. Gets you from beta to alpha to theta relatively quickly. So look up binaural beats on YouTube. There's a ton of them that are for free. Just look, there's a ton of them. They're for free. So look that up. Find yourself one that resonates with you. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna lay down, relax, as relaxed as possible. Like for me, I had just finished actually a session of visualization. I was actually doing some visualization for my YouTube videos. I was sort of, just imagining how I want to make videos, etc., etc. And I just lay on my bed. Literally, I just lay on my bed. I put a blindfold on. You don't have to, but you want to deprive your senses as much as possible of external stimulation. So I put blindfold on because we process 80% of information, we process it through the eyes. So by putting a blindfold on, you can go more inwards into the third eye, because you're actually going to use your third eye to visualize the outcome you want. So I put a blindfold on. You don't have to. It's best to do it in a dark room. If there's a lot of light, it's going to distract you, There's a thing called darkroom therapy. The reason why it is a thing is because people actually want to go within and activate the third eye. So they do this dark room therapy. Some people will stay in days for a dark room. So I use a blindfold. I recommend you do something like that, or just get in as dark of a place as possible. You don't have to. Again, I'm just giving you optimal practices here, best practices. And then for binaural beats, you have to put them inside your eyes. Your eyes, of course. Look at these beautiful eyes. You have to put them in the ear. Okay? So you have to put earphones or headphones. So I put earphones. Don't use Bluetooth. It's gonna fry your brain. Just use the wired earphones or headphones, and proceed to listen to the binaural beats. You want to pick a binaural beat that's at least 30 minutes in length. Why is that? It takes about 15 minutes for you to make the switch in the brainwave, to get in that alpha and through the theta. Okay, so do just focus. What you're gonna do is you're gonna focus on the sound. That's all you're gonna do. Just relax as much as you can. Close your eyes, even better with the blindfold. Focus on the sounds. Within about 15 minutes, you're gonna realize you're very relaxed, and you're pretty much now in the manifestation state, in the visualization state, in the deep in the subconscious where you can make significant change. You're right there right now. That's it. 15 minutes in. About 15 minutes. Don't time it. You're gonna feel relaxed, and when I know this, I'm like really relaxed and I'm ready. When anything that any picture in my mind, like if I think of a piece of apple, I can picture myself eating it, and I feel like I'm eating it. I can taste it. You're there in that state. Okay, so you could do a little test like that. You could picture a piece of apple or something like that. Let's say a piece of apple. And if you can picture the apple and you can really like visualize yourself eating it, taking a bite and really tasting it, like as if you're actually doing it, you're in the state. That's the state we want to be in. It takes about 15 minutes to get there. Okay? Now that we're there, that's step 2 accomplished. Congratulations. Now to the third and most important step, and we're going to use our example that we're working with here. I want to bench 225 pounds. And I want my chest to look a certain way. Now we begin to implement the change. So now what you're going to do is you're going to in that state, picture yourself laying on that bench and picture 2 plates of 45 pounds on each side. 45, 45, 45, 45. The bar itself is usually 45 pounds. And you're going to feel, that's the word, that's the key word. You're going to feel yourself bench pressing that 225 pounds. Trust me, you may think right now, if you're in beta, you're gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna feel it, because of course you can't. Trust me, in that state, you will feel it. You will be bench pressing 225 pounds and feel yourself just go, like even struggling a little bit, because you know, it's quite a, you know, it's you gotta really put a lot of energy, but don't picture yourself failing at it. Okay, just like, and just feel the triumph of actually doing it, and then picture yourself putting it back on the rack, and then feel the triumph. See, when I did that my first time, I was doing it. I had a friend of mine was helping me, spotting me. I got up and I hugged him, and I was like, yeah. Picture yourself, feel yourself doing that to your friend or whoever's spotting you. Okay, you took yourself through the whole thing, the triumph. Feel the triumph of doing that. And yeah, so that's the key, guys. The feeling. You want to really, 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 really feel yourself doing that. So I'll give you a little story here just to emphasize to you. I broke my wrist in those gym days, and you can see here I have a scar. You see it right there. Okay, and I had to be in a cast for 7 months. And I was distraught because I really wanted to work out. I was really into working out, and I was like really sad. I was crying because I really just wanted to keep working out. I was doing good. I was progressing. And all throughout the 7 months, I kept visualizing myself in the exact same process that I just took you. Exactly like that. Replace the bed. We got a donkey over there. Let's pay him a little respect. I love donkeys. They're so cute and just amazing creatures. So, throughout the whole process of me being in a cast, I visualized myself doing everything, bench pressing, everything, pull-ups, everything. Guess what? When I took off my cast, I looked like I just came out of some kind of a camp, some kind of a concentration camp or something. Okay, in the sense that I was so skinny here, like I had what is known as muscle atrophy. My muscle atrophied and it shrank. Like everything, my forearm, everything here completely shrank. I was so weak. So despite me doing all the visualizations, still, because it was in a cast for 7 months, it was still weak and like just like wow, you know. However, because my nervous system for all these 7 months was being trained to still do those moves, I recovered back to my strength and size insanely quickly. Like I was in awe of how quickly I recovered. And I really attribute that to me for all those 7 months still visualizing, because when you're visualizing, your nervous system, your subconscious can't tell what's real from what's not. So as far as it's concerned, when I was there in a cast for 7 months, as far as it's concerned, it's still doing those moves. So even though I took the cast off and you look at it and it's just, it's weak and it's skinny, I recovered insanely quickly, guys. Insane, because my nervous system was accustomed. Like, yeah, we can still do this as a nervous system, okay? So there's a nice little story for you to show you the power of visualization. And there they are. Those are the 3 steps, guys. This is how you could do anything you want. So let's recap this again. Step number 1. And when I say anything, there's a little caveat with that, but step number 1, set precise goals. So in our case here, 225 pounds. And you can also picture how you want your chest to look like, right? As you're doing this, you can feel the pump, And then number 2 is we want to meditate. Very important. Don't just go out and like close your eyes and visualizing. It's not going to be effective. At least not as effective. And number 3, so I showed you how to meditate. And number 3, we're going to feel it. All right, that's about it. Make sure to subscribe for more content like this, and I will see you in the next video.